If you've ever seen my growing Animal Crossing inventory, you'll know that I'm more of a maximalist. But when it comes to awesome piano stuff, I'm really a minimalist at heart. So today we're going to talk about how to maybe fake some minimalist piano, trick people into thinking you're very, very classy, etc., etc. So, first of all, we're going to need a chord. We need one single chord. We're going to do this in the classiest key of all time, the key of A major. We don't even need to know the notes in the key, we just need to know how to make an A major 7 chord. So, I'm going to link you to another video I did on how to make any major or minor chord if you are interested in that at all, because it's super helpful. It's going to be helpful. All we need to know right now is that an A major 7 chord is an A, a C sharp, an E, and a G sharp, okay? So that right there is our beginning to pure class, okay? Now, the important thing to know is to find out where these notes are all over the key bed, all right? So A is, again, the note in between the second and third black keys in a row, right? And then C sharp is the first of the two groupings. That's really all we need to know for right now, because we're going to spread this one chord into 2 parts, all right? An interesting thing about minimalist piano is jumping all over the place. So first we're going to do this. We're going to do this exercise with just your left hand over and over again. Honestly, this year probably counts as minimalist piano for the most part. I think so. I mean, how couldn't it count as minimalist piano? Well, you're not doing enough. By the very definition of it, it should count. So we've got, I'm using my pinky to play an A, the lowest A I can get over here without extending my reach, and a C sharp, okay? So not the whole chord, just a piece. That's why it's minimal, huh? Just a little piece, just a nibble right there. A and C sharp, okay? Not technically a chord yet. Then from here, I'm gonna jump to the next highest C sharp and finish the chord, all right? The interesting thing about this here, this is really just a C sharp minor chord, a C sharp, an E, and a G sharp. But we're doing this on top of an A, so it kind of gives you an idea that, like, oh, an A major 7 is really just an A major chord plus a C sharp minor chord, and it kind of brings a lot of that stuff together. But we're going to start down here, octave jump to the next one. Now, there's 2 options that you have here. You can keep the sustain pedal down for something more grandiose. Usually grandiose is how I like to roll, which is why I've centered my head in between this glowing mirror behind me, just to kind of give me more of a godly aura. If you want to really just kind of have a little bouncy, playful touch, forget the sustain pedal and just jump around, right? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this exact same thing, but now we're going to do it the next highest octave. So now we're going to do this A and C sharp, and then this C sharp minor. So lower, then the next one up. Okay? Now what I would suggest is maybe adding the sustain pedal to the last one. Unsustained. Now you'll notice that there's actually a count happening behind the scenes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not 4, not counting to 4. A lot of fancy pants music counts to 4 beats in a bar. We're going to subtract one of those because, again, we're minimalist. We don't need 4 beats to make a killer bitchin' track, as we're doing right now. 3. So count to 3, lower A, C sharp minor, next highest one up. You can even start mixing and matching if you want, if you're really wild. That one right there creates kind of a descending minimalist thing. Again, as I really like to stress in any of these piano videos, the physicality of your performance is of paramount importance. So if you kind of get a like rip your hand off the keys like it's too hot to touch, because that's exactly the kind of look that we're going for, the better. The more you can do that, the better. Now, the whole time, your right hand is just chilling, as minimalists do. You know, you can use this to do other minimalist activities like going paperless on your bank account statements, stuff like that. But we are going to try to add a little bit of a melody in here. And again, one of the main components of minimalist music is really attaching a lot of emotion to single notes, okay? Almost kind of like the blues in that way. So we're gonna take C sharp, D sharp, and E, as our melodic notes. So you're just gonna plant your hand here so you don't have to think of anything, because again, kind of doing stuff while you're doing, you know, that count can be difficult. If you truly are only faking piano, you have no idea what you're doing. So we're just gonna plant the right hand here, and we're gonna attach a very powerful emotion to each note. So C sharp is gonna be shame, D sharp is gonna be regret, and E is gonna be like granola cereal being buy one, get one off at the store. All right, so if we start down here we go. We're in our count now. We're just gonna think of just shame. Oh. Then all right, we got that. Maybe a little regret. Right? The harder you really focus in on those regret and shames, the more minimalist it's gonna sound. Eventually. Oh, there's that buy one, get one. All I'm doing is I'm jumping around. I'm hunting for an A and its major third, C sharp, all over the key bed. And then I'm hunting for C sharp minors all over, right? Feel free to do this anything. If you want to get even more basic, do it in the key of C, which again is just a C and E. And then play an E minor triad on top of that. Okay? I think really, aside from this being a very excellent exercise in minimal piano playing, it's really just kind of good for finding out different locations of notes that maybe you're not used to. Because I know one of the problems that I had when I was first trying to learn piano was every single chord I would play would always be in root position. Right? I'd be like, oh, A, C. I'm jumping all over the place, you know, kind of just like moving in one form, which kind of has an interesting sound, but I was definitely doing it as a crutch. So breaking triads up and be like, all right, so there's the A. I'm really good at finding A root notes on this keyboard, but maybe I want to find a little bit more into the chord. Then I was like, all right, now I'm kind of connecting that with C sharp minors. Same thing, right? The more you do this and the more you look for different forms starting on the different bass note, maybe not as the root note of your chord, the better you're going to get and the easier it's going to be to kind of understand things. And then once you do start getting into more kind of like inversion and different types of chords, it's going to be a lot easier for you. All right. So this is where you start though. Minimalist. A. The next one up. Make sure you get that too hot to touch going. Add a little bit of shame. Regret. Shame and regret at the same time. I know you know what that sounds like, what that feels like. Don't we all, right? So anyways, thanks for checking this out. If you have any comments or questions, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. By the way, I'm rocking this Arturia MIDI controller. Super reasonably priced. I think it's like $350 last time I checked. So there's no sounds in it, but I'm just triggering Native Instruments, the Gentleman piano in the DAW Logic. So check that out. I'll link you to it if you guys are interested. And again, let me know what you think. Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.